Right. When I first began writing fantasy fiction, I had no idea what the fuck I was going to write at all. I didn't know like what my main character would be. I didn't know the setting. I didn't know any of the plots. I'm still pretty clueless when it comes to the book series I'm writing with the plots. And the reason why I'm telling you this is that the title of the video is that you find yourself by writing, and that's sort of been my experience. That ever since I began, there's been this like gradual linear type of progress where the world has become deeper because of me writing, and I've also learned what excites me, where my like curiosity follows, and that's why I say you find yourself by writing, because I'll give an example. For example, George R. R. Martin, hero of Westeros, Game of Thrones, and he followed his own curiosity, which was a lot of history type of things, War of Roses, England's old England, different kings, and yeah, like all of the whole Westeros world is inspired by who he is, and he's a big historian when it comes to what makes him curious, and that's kind of the same feeling I had when I like began. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and then over time, as I wrote more and more and world build, sometimes I didn't write at all because I was scared of what I was going to put down on the page. But like over time, there's still been this sense of, oh shit, this part of the story excited me a lot, or like I felt very curious about writing this scene because of these elements, and I sort of learned more about myself, what kind of topics, what kind of topics, what kind of things interest me. So, for example, I have a I have a character, Roman Peterson is what it's called in the ordinary world, and then he has a secret surname later, but I'm not going to tell you that. So he is dragged off to like a very cold environment, a northern environment where it's freezing cold, the weather is hard. There's a warrior school which is going to attend, and that's largely because I'm very interested in becoming stronger, going to the gym and getting harder, more mentally tough. And that's why I also want to have sword fighting. That's why I'm inspired by Castle Black from Game of Thrones, and I've taken some of these elements as inspiration for my own story. And I'm in this sort of period where I'm very interested in mentality, discipline, and that's the kind of truths that also glide into the story I'm writing. So I've sort of learned that, oh shit, like this story is basically just a reflection of who I am and what kind of things I'm interested in and what kind of truths I'm interested in. And over time, with more and more writing, and also I don't think it's a dumb idea to watch some lectures and learn something about story structure, and so you can get these things more in like subconsciously. I think that's a very smart idea. As for like the world, the story becoming deeper, I've just learned that, oh shit, like this is me. I'm the reflection of the story. I'm literally, all of these parts are something which makes me curious. And whenever I've been in, there's obviously been some periods when you start like writing, oh, what will everyone else think is fucking amazing to read? And you start going off that direction, and then you suddenly, oh shit, like this is not working at all. I'm suddenly losing that curiosity that drove me drove me on the right line of like actually getting the story done. And I suddenly just lost that spark because I tried to please someone else, please the reader or whatever, and didn't do it for myself. I think there's a balance between like, you write for yourself, you write to like fulfill yourself, and then you have a hope that, oh, maybe this inspires someone else, maybe this helps someone else and makes them take action in their own life, create a new life possibly. And that's I think a lot has to do with following your curiosity. So you figure out what you're interested in over time. I'm interested in sword fighting. That's kind of one of the reasons why I like Game of Thrones so much. Uh, there's different things, like I'm very into, I want to like become very useful. Right now I'm in a period where I feel a need to like learn a lot of stuff. And that's why in the story I get dragged, like I get pulled towards learning, oh, what kind of clothes do they wear? What kind of textures is that? And what does the geology look like? What's the different names of trees, plants that could grow in the environment of my story? What kind of stone is used? How does the buildings look like? What materials are used? I'm very like in a period where I like the grounded information. I'm not so much like Brandon Sanders and I want these vivid, big magic systems. I want to ground things more, but still have that fantastical element to the story. And that's something I've learned while I've been writing, for these past 9 months. And I'm guessing over time I'll just learn more and more about myself and learn how like the way your characters are is largely a reflection often on just how you want to be yourself. That's what I found. The main character is like, in my case, the main character is literally almost me when I was younger, when I was in middle school, and I was trying to deal with life, and so it's, in a sense, since I'm largely a part of who the main character is, I'm building this story to learn how my own my own development will be. Like that's how I see it. Like book 1 till book 6 would be like, oh shit, like I learn about myself basically. Like I basically learn how my development has gone and how I want my life to like go, in a sense. And there's a lot of things when you just take 2 steps back and you look at what you created, what kind of characters you were drawn to create, and what kind of world building elements you just had to build. You see a lot of yourself in it. Definitely. And for example, my antagonist is a hard, masculine, tough man who's just been in prison for 32 fucking years and has gone absolutely mental. And that is a reflection of like how tough I want to become. Like I don't obviously don't want to become a fucking psychopath, but having that like mental strength and be able to endure, again, it's a theme in the story I'm building that I like want to be as well, that I want to become. So you find yourself by writing. I think that's such a true statement. I think writing is so reflective and is you basically see yourself with a different perspective. You take it all down on the page and you look and oh shit, like this is who I am. So I find that very interesting. So that's what I have for today. Take care. See ya in the next video. That was the cringiest outro ever. Fuck yeah.